Ukraine warns Russia of massive missile strikes after US rockets arrive. Ukraine's foreign minister, Alexei Reznikov, hailed the arrival of high-mobility artillery rocket systems, or HIMARS, sent as military aid to the Eastern European nation from the US, issuing a warning to Russian President Vladimir Putin's forces attacking his country. Putin launched the invasion of Ukraine on February 24, drawing swift international condemnation and global backlash, although Russia largely failed in its initial assault to take control of the Eastern European nation. It has made more gains in recent weeks after refocusing its efforts on the eastern Donbas region of Ukraine. Some 50 miles away, in a Twitter post, HIMARS have arrived to Ukraine. Thank you to my colleague and friend, Secretary of Defense Lloyd J. Austin III, for these powerful tools, the Ukrainian official wrote. Summer will be hot for Russian occupiers, and the last one for some of them, he added. Reznikov included a photo of a rocket being launched. The 4 HIMARS came as part of a $1 billion aid package announced by the White House earlier this month. CBS News reported on Wednesday that the White House plans to announce additional HIMARS and will be sent to Ukraine. Since February, the U.S. has already pledged some $5.6 billion in assistance to the country. Putin and other top Russian leaders have justified their invasion of Ukraine by saying that the country is led by Nazis. In reality, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky is Jewish and had family members who died in the Holocaust. When Zelensky was elected in 2019, with nearly 75% of the vote, the Prime Minister in Kiev was also Jewish. Russia's president has evoked the historic Russian Empire and referenced Peter the Great, who reigned from 1682 to 1725. Putin has questioned the validity of Ukraine's statehood and has noted that it was historically part of Russia. Ukraine became independent in 1991 after it left the now defunct Soviet Union.
Now they've launched and refocused their campaign to seize new territory in eastern Ukraine.
President Joe Biden's administration has authorized another $450 million in military aid for Ukraine. The complete package includes 4 more M142 high-mobility artillery rocket systems, or HIMARS, 18 patrol boats, and 36,000 rounds of 105mm howitzer ammunition, as well as tactical vehicles, small arms, and more. Today, the Department of Defense, DoD, announces the authorization of a presidential drawdown of security assistance valued at up to $450 million to meet critical needs for Ukraine's fight. Acting Pentagon Press Secretary Todd Brazil said in a statement, this authorization is the 13th drawdown of equipment from DoD inventories for Ukraine since August 2021. The United States has now committed approximately $6.8 billion in security assistance to Ukraine since the beginning of the Biden administration, including approximately $6.1 billion since the beginning of Russia's unprovoked invasion on February 24. Brazil continued. Since 2014, the United States has committed more than $8.7 billion in security assistance to Ukraine. The Associated Press has reported earlier today that a new aid package was to be announced and that it would include more of HIMARS, among other items. On June 1st, the U.S. government had announced plans to transfer an initial batch of 4 M142s, along with precision-guided 227mm M30 M31 rockets, able to hit targets out to ranges of around 43 miles, or 70 kilometers, to the Ukrainian armed forces. At the time, this had reflected a new willingness on the part of the Biden administration to send more advanced and complex weapon systems with longer-range strike capabilities to Ukraine. American officials had subsequently said that the Ukrainian military could receive additional HIMARS if certain conditions were met. Army General Mark Milley, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, said last week that the first group of 60 Ukrainian soldiers graduated from a 3-week training course on HIMARS and was ready to deploy them in combat. Ukrainian Defense Minister Oleksiy Reznikov said today that the first 4 HIMARS units arrived on the battlefield this week.